Standard 6, Subject English, Unit 3.2, Seven Sisters. In this chapter, we will learn about the seven sisters of Northeast India, still unexplored, isolated territories to most of us and to the rest of the world. The seven sisters of Northeast India are famous for their natural beauty, lush forests, and wild animals, as well as their colorful costumes, traditional jewelry, exotic flowers, and their unique dance and music. Nature lovers have designated the whole area as one of the world's biodiversity hotspots. Let us get acquainted to each of these seven sisters of Northeast India in our chapter Seven Sisters. Arunachal Pradesh. Hi, they call me the land of the rising sun, the land of the dawn-lit sun. I am Arunachal Pradesh. My people are simple and hospitable. They belong to many tribes speaking their own languages. Their diet is largely made up of rice with fish, meat, and many green vegetables, and a popular dish is momos, that is steamed buns with meat or vegetable stuffing or filling. This is the picture of momos. It's a popular dish in Arunachal Pradesh. The people in Arunachal Pradesh are simple and hospitable, very welcoming. Arunachal Pradesh is called the land of the rising sun. The diet of the people is mainly made of rice with fish, meat, and many green vegetables. I am a nature lover's heaven. My land is spotted with monasteries, lush green forests, lakes, waterfalls, and deep river valleys. In my limestone caves, known as Tepeneru, and forest reserves, you will find a great variety of wildlife. Arunachal Pradesh is nature lovers' heaven. The land is spotted with monasteries. Here, this is the picture of a monastery, the very famous Buddhist monastery at Tawang. The land is also spotted with lush green forest, waterfalls, lakes, and deep river valleys. The limestone cave, this is a picture of a limestone cave known as Tepenuru. There are also a number of forest reserves. You see this national park here. These are all forest reserves where you find a variety of wildlife. You must make it a point to visit the 400-year-old Buddhist monastery at Tawang. So this is the Tawang monastery, and they have a cultural festival at Ziru. Don't miss the Namdapa Tiger Project. You are also welcome to many wildlife sanctuaries and national parks where you may see rare animals, birds, and plants. I am also home to India's first orchid sanctuary. Arunachal Pradesh is the home to India's first orchid sanctuary. Orchid is a flower. This is a picture of an orchid. So this is a little information about Arunachal Pradesh. Friends, I am Assam, also known as a home. You will find my land between the beautiful valleys of the Brahmaputra and Barak rivers. They call me the gateway to the seven sisters. My people are very hospitable. If you come here, you can enjoy the cuisine which has its own distinctive aromas and flavors. I am known for my artistic heritage, exotic dance forms, and elegant temples. The rivers ensure that my territory is lush and fertile with wetlands, orchards, tea estates, and scenic forests and parks. Kaziranga National Park and Manas National Park are World Heritage Sites. My picturesque landscape of golden green rice fields and landscaped tea estates is awesome to behold. And you know, Assam tea is world famous. Here in this paragraph, we learn that Assam is also known as a home. The land is between the beautiful valleys of the Brahmaputra and Barak rivers. Assam is called the gateway to the seven sisters of Northeast India. The people of Assam are hospitable. Hospitable is welcoming. If one comes to Assam, they can enjoy the cuisine, the food of Assam, which has its own distinctive flavor and aromas. Assam is known for its artistic heritage, exotic dance forms, and elegant temples. The rivers in Assam ensure that the territory is lush green and fertile with wetlands, orchards, tea estates, and scenic forests. Kaziranga National Park, this is the Kaziranga National Park, and the Manas National Park, they are World Heritage Sites. The picturesque landscape of the golden green rice field and landscaped tea estates are a sight to behold. Assam tea is also world famous. The Brahmaputra is Assam's lifeline. The land is also rich in petroleum, natural gas, coal, limestone, and other minor minerals. My hand-woven silks are exquisite with natural colors and designs. They say our women weave fairy tales on their looms. Assam's silk fabrics, Eri, Muga, and Pat, are the most sought after silks in the world of fashion. I am known as the land of fairs and festivals. The major festival of Assam is Bihu. Cane and bamboo are the inseparable parts of my life. As souvenirs, you can take the japi, traditional sunshade, and mask. Don't forget to visit the Ahom palaces. Here in this paragraph, we learn that the river Brahmaputra is Assam's lifeline. The meaning of lifeline is someone or something that depends on. So the people of Assam depend on the river Brahmaputra. Assam is also rich in minerals like petroleum, natural gas, coal, limestone, and other minor minerals. Their hand-woven silk is very exquisite with natural colors and designs. Here, this is a picture of the silk that is produced in Assam. They say that the women in Assam weave fairy tales on their looms. Assam's silk fabrics, Eri, Muga, and Pat, are most sought after silks in the world of fashion. Assam is also known as the land of fairs and festival. The major festival of Assam. Here, this is a picture of the Bihu festival, and this is the Bihu dance. It is a major festival of Assam. Cane and bamboo. These are all products made out of cane and bamboo. They are inseparable parts of their life. When we visit Assam, you can take souvenirs of the things made out of cane and bamboo. This is the japi, the traditional sunshade. It is like a hat. And this is a mask which is also made out of cane and bamboo. Here, this is some craft that is made out of cane and bamboo. This is also a fan made out of cane and bamboo. So when we visit Assam, we can take these as souvenirs. Also, when we visit Ahom or Assam, we must not forget to visit the palaces that are in Assam. Hello friends, I am the abode of clouds, Meghalaya. My capital city Shillong is called Scotland of the East because of its highlands, fog and scenery. My people speak English, Khasi, Nar and Garo. I am overwhelmingly beautiful and everything here is impossibly green and alive. The rolling mists in the valleys, The undulating hills, numerous lakes, waterfalls, caves, sacred forests, and exotic flora and fauna are fascinating. Here, zoom or shifting cultivation is practiced even today. I have lovely mountains with stretches of valley and highland plateaus. The rock formations here contain rich deposits of valuable minerals like coal, limestone, uranium, and sillimanite. I have many rivers. This paragraph gives us information about Meghalaya, known as the abode of clouds. The capital city is Shillong, called as the Scotland of the East because of its highlands, fog, and scenery. People here speak English, Khasi, Nar, and Garo. Meghalaya is very beautiful. Everything here is green and alive. The rolling mists in the valleys, the undulating hills. Undulating means going up and down. There are numerous lakes. Look at this picture of the lake here, the Wards Lake. There are waterfalls here, beautiful waterfalls, number of caves, sacred forests, and exotic flora and fauna, which are very fascinating. Here in Meghalaya, zoom or shifting cultivation is practiced. What is the meaning of zoom cultivation? It's an agricultural system whereby the plot of land is cultivated for a little while, only temporarily, and then it is abandoned. It is left or kept fallow without cultivation. And the cultivator moves on in search of another plot. So this is zoom cultivation. So it is practiced even today. Meghalaya has lovely mountains, stretches of valley, and plateaus. The rock formation here have rich deposits of minerals like coal, limestone, uranium, and sillimanite. There are also a number of rivers in Meghalaya. Please come to see Cherrapunji, Mawsynram, the wettest places on earth. You can enjoy the forests and sacred groves here. I boast of several national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Friends, you would be amazed to see the Krem Liat Pra, which is the longest cave, and Sirang Pamiang, which is the deepest cave. You can enjoy the panoramic view of Bangladesh from here. Do come to this pine fresh mountain state during the Wangala festival in autumn. Here in this paragraph, we learn of Cherrapunji and Mawsynram, the wettest places on earth. These two places in Meghalaya receive heavy rainfall. Here in Meghalaya, you can see a number of forests and sacred groves. Sacred groves mean sacred forests. There are several national parks and wildlife sanctuary which have a variety of flora and fauna or a variety of wild animals. The Krem Liat Pra is the longest cave in India. If you look at this cave, it is the longest cave and you will be quite amazed looking at it. Sirang Pamiang is the deepest cave. The panoramic view of Bangladesh can be seen from Meghalaya. You can visit this state during the Wangala festival in autumn. This is the Wangala festival. So you can visit Meghalaya during the Wangala festival in autumn. Manipur. I am the fourth sister. Manipur, the jeweled land. I am proud to be the jewel of my mother India. I am also known by my nicknames Kanglepak or Sanalebak. My capital is Imphal, where you can see the cyclist velodrome. Many of my people belong to the Meitei ethnic group and speak Meitei Manipuri language. I have the credit of introducing polo to the Europeans. My people's staple diet consists of rice, fish, large varieties of leafy vegetables, both aquatic and terrestrial. But our cuisine is so different from the rest of India due to the use of various aromatic herbs and roots that are peculiar to my state. Here in this paragraph, we learn that Manipur is the fourth sister, the jeweled land, the jewel of Mother India. Manipur is also known by the nicknames Kanglepak or Sanalebak. Capital of Manipur is Imphal. Here you can see the cyclist velodrome. This is the picture of the velodrome, the cyclist velodrome. People in Manipur belong to the Meitei ethnic group and speak Meitei or Manipuri. Manipur has the credit of introducing polo to the Europeans. This picture here is of polo, the sport polo. People's staple diet: rice, fish, large varieties of leafy vegetables, both aquatic, that is found in water, and terrestrial, that is found on land. The cuisine is different from the rest of India due to the use of various aromatic herbs and roots that are peculiar to the state of Manipur. Blessed with an amazing variety of flora and fauna, I am home to a host of rare endemic plant and animal life here. A treat for the eyes is the Kaibul Lamjo National Park, an abode of the rare and endangered species of brown antlered deer. This ecosystem contains 17 rare species of mammals. It is the only floating national park of the world. You should come to see the Loktak Lake and floating islands. Our Manipuri dance is one of the most acclaimed classical dances of India. The folk dances of tribal people captivate the beholders with their exotic costumes and simple but graceful rhythm. You should not fail to witness the Manipuri martial arts, Thangta and Sarit Sarak. Here in this paragraph, we learn that Manipur is blessed with a variety of flora and fauna. It is a home to a host of rare, endemic plant and animal life. The meaning of endemic is of plant or animal native and restricted to certain place. A treat for the eyes is the Kaibul Lamjo National Park. This is the Kaibul Lamjo National Park. It is the only floating national park, and it is an abode or home to the rare and endangered species of the brown antlered deer. This is the brown antlered deer. It's an endangered species. Endangered means at a risk of extinction. And this Kaibul Lamjo National Park is an abode to a number of rare and endangered species. It has a variety of flora and fauna. Kaibul Lamjo National Park is the only floating national park of the world. When we visit Manipur, we must not fail to see the Loktak Lake. This is the Loktak Lake and this floating national park or the floating islands. The Manipuri dance, this is a picture of the Manipuri dance, is one of the most acclaimed classical dances of India. The folk dances of the tribal people captivate the beholders. Beholders are the person who sees or observes someone or something. So it captivates the beholders with their exotic costumes and simple but graceful rhythm. When we visit Manipur, we must not fail to witness the Manipuri martial arts. This is a picture of the Manipuri martial arts, Thangta and Sarit Sarak. So these are some of the steps of this martial arts. I am Mizoram. Mizoram implies land of the hill people, referred to as the Cookies. I invite you to see my land of lush hills, sheer cliffs, serene lakes, and waterfalls. Rolling hills stretch across hundreds of miles, and the plains and valleys are covered with lush forests and thick bamboo groves. Green paddy fields, vineyards, teeming with diverse wildlife. My regret is that not many of you come to visit me. Well, traveling in Mizoram is a little difficult, but it has its own rewards. The natural beauty here is exquisite and must be seen to be believed. My capital is Aizawl, and from its scenic location, you can get a captivating view of lush emerald long river valley in the west and the Turiel river valley in the east. The museum in the heart of the city, Zarkot, portrays the culture of Mizoram with a splendid collection of costumes, artifacts, and historical relics. In this paragraph, we learn about Mizoram, land of the hill people, referred to as the Cookies. Mizoram is endowed with or blessed with lush hills. The densely forested hills of Mizoram, serene lakes and waterfalls. The rolling hills stretch across hundreds of miles, and the plains are covered with forest and thick bamboo groves. There are also paddy fields, vineyards. There is diverse wildlife. Traveling in Mizoram is a little difficult, but it has its own reward. The natural beauty here is amazing, is exquisite, and one must visit it in order to believe that the natural beauty here is exquisite. The capital of Mizoram is Aizawl, and from Aizawl you can get a view of the lush emerald long river valley, which is in the west, and the Turiel river valley, which is in the east. The museum in the heart of the city, that is Zarkot, Aizawl, portrays the culture of Mizoram with a splendid collection of costumes, artifacts, and historical relics. Relic is an object surviving from an earlier time, especially one of historical interest. So these are historical relics. In the museum here at Zarkot or Aizawl in Mizoram, you will see a collection of costumes, artifacts, and historical relics. The Palak Lake is the biggest in Mizoram and covers 30 hectares, 74 acres. Do you know that it is believed that the lake was created as a result of an earthquake or a flood? Champai, with its fertile vineyards, is known as the fruit bowl of Mizoram. I am also host to numerous species of birds, wildlife, and flora. You can visit the 2 national parks and 6 wildlife sanctuaries here. Mizo is the official language and the most widely used language. In this paragraph, we learn that the Palak Lake in Mizoram is the biggest lake. It covers 30 hectares and it is believed to be created as a result of an earthquake or flood. Champai in Mizoram has fertile vineyards and it is known as the fruit bowl of Mizoram. Mizoram is a home to numerous species of birds, wildlife, and flora. You can visit the national parks and the 6 wildlife sanctuaries in Mizoram. This is a picture of a sanctuary in Mizoram. Mizo is the official language and it is most widely used. I am Nagaland, one of the smallest states of India called the Switzerland of the East. Here we have a land of folklore passed down through generations, with music as an integral part of our life. The exquisitely picturesque landscapes, the vibrantly colorful sunrise and sunset, lush and verdant flora make my land unimaginably beautiful. The state capital is Kohima. The state is mostly mountainous. Mount Saramati is the highest peak with a height of about 3,840 meters, and its range forms a natural barrier between Nagaland and Burma. There are over 16 tribes and sub-tribes that inhabit my exotic hill state, each with its own unique, colorful, and intricately designed costumes, jewelry, and beads that adorn them. Today, many of my young people have ventured into fashion designing, creating fabrics that blend our traditional motifs with modern appeal. So much so, I have become a paradise for those who are into fashion designing. People refer to me as an affluent fashion station of the East. In this paragraph, we learn that Nagaland is one of the smallest states of India, called as the Switzerland of the East. Why is Nagaland called the Switzerland of the East? The state receives heavy rainfall from June to September, but otherwise the weather is very pleasant. Nagaland is a beautiful place with high peaks and vast forest land filled with aesthetic beauty, and therefore it is called as the Switzerland of the East. Nagaland is known for its folklore. The meaning of folklore is traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community that is passed down through generations by word of mouth. Music is also an important part of their life. The colorful sunrise and sunset, the beautiful landscape, the lush forest, verdant flora. Verdant is green with grass or other rich vegetation. All this makes Nagaland unimaginably beautiful. State capital of Nagaland is Kohima. The state is mostly mountainous. This is Mount Saramati. It is the highest peak with a height of about 3,840, and it acts as a natural barrier between Nagaland and Burma. Nagaland has over 16 tribes and sub-tribes, and each of them have their own unique costumes, their jewelry and beads which adorn them. Today, many of the young people in Nagaland have ventured into fashion designing. Here, this is a fashion designing college in Nagaland. Many of the youngsters have ventured into fashion designing, and they create fabrics that blend their traditional motifs along with modern appeal. It is a paradise for those who are into fashion designing, and people refer to Nagaland as an affluent fashion station of the East. My land is an ideal place for trekking, rock climbing, jungle camping, and offers limitless exploration possibilities in its lush and subtropical rainforest. Here we have an abundance of medicinal herbs too. I am known as the falcon capital of the world. The great Indian hornbill is one of the most famous birds found here. Nagas by nature are lovers of fun and frolic, and here life is one long festival. Dance and songs are a part and parcel of all our festivities. Most of our dances are performed with a robust rhythm. If you love a colorful life and appreciate ethnic customs and traditions with their unique songs, dances, and festivals, you must come to our Naga Heritage Village, which showcases our cultural heritage. Do come and participate in our great Hornbill Festival. Here in this paragraph, we learn that Nagaland is an ideal place for trekking and rock climbing as well as jungle camping. Nagaland has an abundance of medicinal herbs. Nagaland is known as the falcon capital of the world. Why was Nagaland called, or why is Nagaland known as the falcon capital of the world? Because an international team of ornithologists are one who study birds, they declared Nagaland as the falcon capital of the world, because some time back they recorded that around 1 million Amur falcon roost in this region, and Nagaland has earned this title with its successful conservation effort for these migratory birds, and therefore an international team of ornithologists declared Nagaland as the falcon capital of the world. The great Indian hornbill, this is a picture of the hornbill bird, is the most famous bird that is found here in Nagaland. The Nagas are lovers of fun and frolic. Dance and song is a part and parcel of all their festivals or festivities. Most of their dances are performed with robust rhythm. If we do visit Nagaland, one must come to the Naga Heritage Village, which showcases Nagaland's cultural heritage. One can also participate in the Great Hornbill Festival of Nagaland. Tripura. Hello, I am Tripura, the third smallest state in the country, bordered by Bangladesh to the north, south, and west. Tripura meaning three cities. Tripura also means near water. Some scholars also believe that the land was ruled in ancient times by a king named Tripur, from whom my name emerged. My land has three distinct geographical zones: the hill ranges, which run from north to south, the undulating plateau land, and the low lying alluvial plains. Many rivers nourish my land and sustain the activities of my people. Chief among them are the Gumti, the Muhuri, and the Feni. Rice, cotton, jute, tea, tobacco, oilseeds are grown here. The Kokborok speaking Tripuri people are the major group among the many tribes and sub-tribes. Bengali and Manipuri people have coexisted in peaceful harmony with the people of Tripura for generations. This paragraph gives us information about Tripura, the third smallest state in the country, bordered by Bangladesh to the north, south, and west. Meaning of Tripura, three cities. It also means near water. Some scholars believe that the land was ruled in ancient times by a king named Tripur, from whom the name Tripura has emerged. Tripura has three distinct geographical zones: the hill ranges, which run from north to south, then the undulating plateau land, and the low lying alluvial plains, fertile plains. Many rivers nourish the land, make the land fertile, and sustain the activities of the people. The chief rivers are Gumti, the Muhuri, and Feni. This is a picture of the Gumti river. Rice, cotton, jute, tea, tobacco, and oil seeds are grown. The Kokborok speaking Tripuri people are the major group among the many tribes and sub-tribes found in Tripura. Bengali and Manipuri people have coexisted in peaceful harmony with the people of Tripura for ages or for generations. I am rather difficult for you to access because only one major road or national highway connects my land with the rest of the country. Agartala is my capital city. People come to visit me for ecotourism and archaeological tourism. My lush tea gardens and wildlife sanctuaries and my specially set up eco parks are a great attraction, as are the famous rock carvings at Deotamura. The Nir Mahal is a gorgeous red and white water palace, empty but shimmering on its own island in the lake of Rudrasagar. People of all communities and tribes participate in state festivals like Garya, Durga Puja, Buddha Purnima, Kharchi, Pau Sankranti, Biju, or Christmas. Come and visit me. You will be fascinated by my rich cultural heritage, beautiful palaces, wildlife sanctuaries, historical temples, palaces, and museums. My folk dances will enthrall you, and my people will welcome you with warmth. Here in this paragraph, we learn that Tripura is rather difficult to access because only one major road or national highway connects Tripura to the rest of the country. Capital of Tripura is Agartala. People come to Tripura for ecotourism and archaeological tourism. The lush tea gardens, the wildlife sanctuaries, and the eco parks are a great attraction. So also is the famous rock carving at Deotamura. This is the rock carving at Deotamura. This is Nir Mahal. It is a gorgeous red and white water palace shimmering on its own island in Lake Rudrasagar. The palace is empty. People of all communities and tribes participate in state festivals like Garya, Durga Puja. This is Durga Puja. Then Buddha Purnima, Kharchi, Pau Sankranti, or Christmas. If you visit Tripura, you'll be fascinated by its rich cultural heritage, the beautiful palaces, the sanctuaries, the wildlife sanctuaries, the historical temples and museums. The folk dance is also a major attraction. It will enthrall you, and the people of Tripura welcome you with warmth.